here. All right, I'm gonna wait for y'all to come in. Hopefully this was a good time. Hi, Kathina. How are you? Hey, it's Ray Ray. Thank you. Y'all come on in. Don't forget to leave a like on your way in. I just got my nails done. I'm pretty good myself. I'm just today was a very long day, and I almost felt like I was gonna come home and not be able to do this, but I'm actually feeling energized right now. I think it's because I just want to talk about it. Oh, we're gonna talk about Keith's song. We're going to talk about Keith's song, okay? We're gonna talk about it. I didn't listen to it, but we're gonna talk about it. Hey, Black Barbie. Hey, Marvina. I already said hey, I think. But yes, guys, leave a like as you come in. Come on in, come on in. Now, we are going to talk about the reunion, but we are going to talk about this tea that I found on. First of all, if you love this show, go to Instagram and follow MAFS fan. She got everything. I don't know if it's a she or he, but they got everything you could ever want to know about Married at First Sight. I mean, follow them, okay? We gonna talk about it. I want to talk about the reunion first, and then we're gonna talk about that. Keith has a song. Keith is a musician or an artist or whatever. Girl, I've been waiting too. I was a little anxious. Hey, Danielle. I know, right? I know, right? Hey, The Way of Dom. Thank you. Yes, they are fun. They are fun. I don't know who runs that account, but I'm just like, tell me more. And I have screenshots. So, hey, Nakazi. I wanted to bring, put everything on the table. I really wanted to talk about the reunion, but I also wanted to give context to certain things because, yeah. Hey, Cotton Candy Cutie. Okay, we're going to talk about it now. We're going to talk about it. As y'all come in, don't forget to leave your like. We're definitely going to talk about it. I'm just waiting for, a few more people to come in, and then we'll get started. As far as the reunion goes, it was all right. I feel like there have been better reunions, but because I feel like everything about that reunion we already know. Like we pretty much, like, we know. I'm just gonna go ahead and get into the reunion because it really wasn't. I don't even have that many notes about the reunion. So let me do my intro since I never do my intro on lives. Yeah, Keith has a song, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just do my intro, and then I'm gonna like tell y'all the notes I have about the show. Hey, Kinky girl. I know, right? We gonna get into it. Let me start reading all the comments. Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host, Pinky, and today I'm going to be talking about the Married at First Sight Season 9 reunion. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. And also, I got some tea on Keith and a little bit on Matt, too. All right. So, first I'm going to start with Keith and Iris because everything pretty much I had to say about Keith and Iris is on the last live I did. So if you really want to know how I feel about Keith and Iris's relationship and all that, go back to that live. I'm not rehashing all of that again because it's draining, to be honest. I did think it was funny. Somebody on the last video commented that they look like they were supposed to be on Love and Hip Hop. Like their makeovers looked like they were supposed to be on Love and Hip Hop. I thought that was so funny because it's so true. It's like they got a Love and Hip Hop makeover. The main thing extra I wanted to add to what I said was we didn't see this part where Keith said that he nor Iris were ready for marriage, and I'm glad he said he wasn't because I think we all after that live, we all can agree that Keith most likely was not ready to be married. The fact that he was recruited, I didn't appreciate that. And yeah, I'm glad he was honest enough with himself to realize he was not ready. And he was trying to speak for Iris and say she wasn't ready. And she was like, don't speak for me. I was ready. I signed up for this. I knew what I was doing. Do I think Iris is ready for marriage? I think with the right man, Iris will be ready for marriage. Um, I think she needs a leader. I think she needs someone who has a high emotional IQ, someone who's ready to actually have real patience. I think that man is out there, but just like how they were saying Iris is like a double unicorn now, she's a divorced virgin. It's going to take somebody equally as unique as her, and I feel like she can come across a man like that. But it's not going to be easy, I do think Iris is ready for marriage. I do think she's a viable wife. I agree with Keith that he wasn't. And so I do feel like a lot of things, I'm just going to let it go. I said everything I had to say about them on my last live. So if you want to hear more about what I think about them, I said it on my last live. Okay. Now I'm going to move on to Deanna and Greg. They're my favorite. Obviously, I love them. Oh my goodness. Deanna and Greg, I feel like they're one of the best success stories from Married at First Sight. Like, I mean, we can't really say that just yet because it's still so brand new, but I really feel like they're going to make it in the long run. I see them with kids. They tried to fool us and make us think Deanna was pregnant. Really, her sister is pregnant and they're about to have a niece and nephew. But I definitely see kids in their future. She said within the next like 2 or 3 years. I was like, okay. She moved into his house, but who wouldn't? I mean, he built this huge house for a family. Duh. I would have been mad that we had to move into this apartment. I want to move into my big house. Deanna said, I love you first. So in your face to everybody who said Deanna does not like Greg, clearly Deanna likes Greg. I just feel like she's a person that doesn't express her emotions as freely as we would like her to, possibly. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but a lot of people don't like the way she expresses herself. But I never got the feeling that she disliked Greg. And she was the first one to say I love you, and he didn't even say it back in that moment. And I'm just like, Greg? I was shocked. I was like, Greg didn't say it back immediately? But he eventually did, and you could tell they're in love. They look like newlyweds. They really do. They look so cute. Okay, so next I'm gonna move on to Matt and Amber. Matt doesn't have a top lip. That has nothing to do with it, but I was wondering why his teeth were so prominent. It's because he doesn't have a top lip. He claimed to know within the first 15 minutes that it wasn't going to work. And he claims that he didn't play with her emotions. So if you knew within the first 15 minutes that this was not going to work, what made you keep going throughout this whole process? Oh, I forgot. Money, exposure, your little sad singing career. Okay? He claims he wasn't cheating. Even one of his friends told on him, apparently. Amber said one of his friends told him. Your friend put you out there. And at one point, Amber was like, own it. Just own what you did. Just be honest. And I think all of us can agree. Just own it. You made it to the end. You're going to get the money regardless. Can you just admit you're a villain already? Like, stop trying to gaslight everybody. Like, that is so irritating. And I feel like towards the end of this episode, they were clowning him and making him look stupid because, I mean, he was trying to gaslight everybody. And I'm sure that made a lot of people, not just the experts mad, but possibly the producers and everybody else, because you didn't even do a good job of lying. It's like, I don't even know why they were asking Matt any questions. All he does is lie. Like, how can you I don't want to hear your answers to these questions because you're lying. You always lie about everything. Another thing I didn't understand, Amber, why do you still want to be friends with him again after how he did you so dirty? And you're like, you act like you hate me. You act, Amber, it's not that he hates you, he's indifferent, which is possibly worse than hate because he doesn't care at all. Like, none of his emotions are invested in this. This was his goal, was to get on TV. He didn't care about you at all. And I think the quicker she can accept that, the quicker she can let this go. It wasn't you at all. It could have been anybody else. I truly believe in my heart it could have been the most beautiful, sexy woman ever, and he still probably would. It probably still would have ended up this same way because he's selfish and he did this for his own gain. And so for her to still want to be cool, I don't care if we cool. Bye, good riddance. If I see you out somewhere, I'm gonna act like I don't know you, and you could do the same thing to me. We can be strangers like we were before this experiment. Oh, child, that wore me out. I was just like, why do you want to be friends with him so bad? And it just got to the point where Matt was acting like he was the one that was the victim in the situation. Like he was just, I'm not even gonna go through that. He's like he's a complete jerk, and we're gonna have further evidence of that later on in this video. Just stay tuned. Okay, Matt is still a bum on his friend's couch, and Amber got her own place and a dog. How cute. Jamie and Elizabeth. Now, the one positive I'm going to give Elizabeth, she looked bad. Actually, pretty much everybody was looking cute. I kind of wish Amber would have did a little more, would have dolled up a little bit more. But Elizabeth was looking good. That ponytail, the dress, her makeup was on point. I'm like, okay, girl, you did that. You look good. I liked her look. That was really cute. She really stood out to me. Okay, so this is their timeline after the show. She moved into his place, and then they broke up. And guess why they broke up? Her dog got sick. She didn't think twice about leaving him when her dog got sick. I was like, what? That's what broke y'all up? Your dog? I mean, I wanted them to break up, but I mean, I didn't think it would be over the dog. Well, I should have known she loved them dogs, but dang, I was like, dang, you dropped him quick over a dog. She didn't think twice. And then they got back together, which this breakup to make up, that's the reason they wake up in the morning, is to break up to make up. She said he checks her, which he's been basically doing this whole time. He was just doing it in a nasty way. Hopefully it's a more constructive way that he checks her. And he mastered the clap back and, you know, blah blah blah. And now he lives with her. Okay. And then when they all got together, let me see, a lot of this wasn't worth mentioning. I wish they would stop trying to put Keith and Iris together. It's like when they talked about who they were surprised by breaking up, and it was Keith and Iris, and I think we all were, but I don't know. That's their decision, and I hate when people are like, well, I think they're going to get back together. Stop putting false hope. I said on Twitter, stop trying to make fetch happen with Keith and Iris. The door is closed. The door is closed. I just read what you said, Dr. Daniel. I hope not. If he did, I hope it comes out. But the door is closed. Like, stop trying to, I'm tired of Keith giving her false hope. I'm tired of, I don't like the fact that they go out to dinner. They need to make a clean break. Like, possibly somewhere in the, far in the future. Far in the future. If feelings are all gone and they have clear heads and both of them are willing, possibly they could be friends then. But me personally, I think you can't be friends with your ex until you're completely void of any sort of romantic feelings, and if the other person is worth being friends with. Because sometimes you left that person for a valid reason, or y'all broke up for a valid reason, and y'all don't need to be in contact anymore. But I think, you know, I'm friends with my ex. I'm actually really good friends with my ex. We talk on a regular basis. And I think it's because we took that time away from each other. Like, we didn't talk for like a year. And we worked on ourselves individually. And I feel like now we can be friends. So I feel like it's possible, but like at this moment, this is too soon. Y'all definitely don't need to be going out to dinner. Um, okay, so when they were watching Elizabeth shake the table and go off on Jamie and like completely lose her mind, everybody was in shock. Like when they were talking about how they have so much passion, which I think is code word for crazy, like they were like, they're just very passionate, and I just knew they were going to be together because they're passionate, and that's how they express themselves. But when they saw how dysfunctional their relationship actually was, everybody was clutching their pearls. I'm like, oh no, my goodness, I didn't know it was that bad. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's the way we were looking all season. Honestly, if I were Elizabeth, I would have been so embarrassed watching myself act a fool that way. Like, Jamie should be too, because he did like disrespect his wife in front of everybody. But I would be so embarrassed if I was Elizabeth, and that's why she didn't want to be questioned about it. That's why she got up in arms, and I don't want to talk about it. I'm uncomfortable about it. I would change the subject too. If I was her, I am not even gonna lie, because that was embarrassing, and it was kind of cringy. No, I was laughing. I ain't gonna lie. If I was in the room, I would have been cringing, like. But at home, in the safety of my home, I was cracking up. That was funny, especially I wish I would have took a picture of Keith's face. Like, Keith was, what? Keith was shocked. I think his face was the best. And then they talked about Iris's virginity. I feel like that's another cringy conversation we could skip. I'm tired of that. Okay, and then they asked everybody, do they think they were actually ready to be married? And pretty much everybody raised their hand except for Matt, Keith, and Jamie. Well, he was like iffy about it. Jamie, you were not ready. You did right not to raise your hand if that's what you were saying. Keith and Iris, I think that was, not Keith and Iris, Keith and Matt, I think that was right on the money. Neither one of y'all was ready. I agree. Especially if Keith got recruited. He didn't really want to do this. I don't believe it. Okay. All right, y'all. That's it for the reunion. That's all I have to say about that. Let's see what y'all had to say about the reunion, and then we'll get to the tea. Okay. I don't know Keith's song name, but I have it on here. I'll say it in a minute. Let's see. Most of y'all just laughing. Matt should have dropped out. Exactly. If you knew in the first 15 minutes, how come you didn't drop out? Matt doesn't have a top lip. He doesn't. Look at him. Look at him when he talks. His mouth barely covers his teeth. That's why they're so prominent. Thank you, Kathy. Hey, Lauren. She was trying to be friends. Like, girl, he's clearly not interested. I agree with that. Iris, let that go. Keith, I low-key feel like Keith might be on the same level as Matt. We'll see. We'll talk about that later. We'll see. Keith probably cheated on the low. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Deanna is physically attracted to Greg. I think she grew to love the resources, that he has a stable career. Okay, let's talk about that. When it comes to men, they be looking for looks. For the most part, let's be real. They be looking at looks. That's, you know, they always be talking about they have to have somebody bad. Like Will from last season said his type was Megan Good, Andrea. So men always have this like high expectation of beauty or high standard of beauty. And I feel like women do not hold men to that same standard. And that's because I feel like we're able to look past certain things if the man is a provider. Sometimes we overlook it for personality. We are much more likely to look past looks than men are. Let's just be real. We have you ever seen, I mean, I know y'all have seen it opposite, but there are too many examples of beautiful, gorgeous women with not so good looking men, but they have money or they have this or they have that. We are more likely to do that. That's just the name of the game. Let's not act dumb about this, okay? Yes, Deanna probably was not physically attracted to Greg, and when she saw that house and when she saw that he was a man of means, that he has ambition, you know, similar to her, she has her own as well. Let's not get it twisted. It's not like Deanna career, or she had her own when she met Greg, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sure those things did make him more attractive, because as women, that sort of thing is attractive. So am I going to fault Deanna for, you know, maybe allowing that to make him more attractive to her, or, you know, warming up more to him after that? No. And I don't think anyone should be judging her based off of that. Personally, I mean, that's just the name of the game. Let's not act like that's not how things are. Matt must have known what he was going to do. That's why they opted out. Oh, his family, yeah. I got some stuff about his sister coming up. That was super awkward. Yeah. If we were talking about that whole thing with Elizabeth and Jamie, I agree with this about Deanna. It seems like Jamie never has her back. That's true. He do seem to be leaving her out on the ledge sometimes, because he could have said, you know what I'm saying, both of our actions led up to this, but no, he tried to put her out there like, well, you did argue with me in the car. Okay, but what did you contribute? You contributed to her freaking out like that too. What about when they asked all the couples about when Jamie told Beth to shut up and Deanna said it couldn't be me? I told y'all, I said this on one of my past reviews. Whenever was it Amber? I think it had to be Amber. Whenever Amber was like, Matt didn't come home, Iris and Deanna was looking at her like, couldn't be me. And I feel like in a lot of these situations, Deanna would not have put up with that, and we probably would have seen a different side to her. I'm telling you, she don't seem like the one. Shoot, I'm not the one either. Hi, Georgie May. That's so true. I've given guys chances even if they weren't exactly my physical type, but because they were so sweet and smart. Me too. And honestly, I think that's, you know, I mean, why not? Why not? But men don't, you know, they don't tend to think that way. I'm sure there are men that will think that way or might think that way, but most men, they feel like they deserve the Halle Berry. They think they deserve the flyest body type, even though they might be overweight. Women will accept you bald headed, receding hairline, tubby stomach, um, ashy. I mean, we be accepting y'all at various uh 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 like things that wouldn't be attractive usually. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I love your commentary. Thank you, Yolanda. I'm with Deanna. I would marry someone who looks like JJ from Good Times if I could stay at a home. Yeah, if I could be a stay at home wife, if I would cook for him and everything. Deanna seems like she would cut someone. She looks like she has anger problems. I don't know about cutting, but she do seem like she's not afraid of confrontation. Greg and Shanice from previous season would have worked better. Two loving people. Um, I don't like to mix and match like that, but preach. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth about that. Like, we are so much more forgiving than men are. And I think it's because, a lot of times we have that nurturing nature. Um, and we see people's potential a lot of times. And so, we'll see somebody and he'll be busted, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see the potential and we'll fix him up. Have y'all ever seen what's that movie with Vivica Fox? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That movie with Vivica Fox, Morris Chestnut. Why can't I remember that movie? Man, but two can play that game. Thank you, Nicole. Two can play that game. Look at the Bobby Brown character and how she fixed him up. You know what I'm saying? She saw the potential in him. That is based on a lot of people. I've seen a lot of men go from like nerdy looking, busted. No one would even look his way. And as soon as he get with a woman who sees his potential, see he going somewhere in life, fix him all the way up. I mean, you'll be like, that's Hook. That's Jared? What? Give him a little bit of confidence. You know what I'm saying? Women do that all the time. And y'all know it's true. When I married, I fell in love with his personality. Also, he loved my child like his own. That's always a great quality. You know what I'm saying? When a man can accept your child as his own, that's invaluable. Because a lot of these people be like, a lot of these people, you can't trust around your kids these days. Okay, but now that I've talked about the reunion and I've read everybody else's opinion, let's get into the tea. All right, so like I said, oh yeah, everybody's Instagram pages. Everybody leave, if you know their Instagrams, leave their Instagrams in the chat, just in case y'all want to go look at their pages. I follow all of them, but I follow them from my Finsta account. I don't follow them on my regular account because, I just follow them on my fake page. But, oh yeah, let me just tell y'all a little bit about everybody's page. So, Greg and Deanna, they have your standard. They don't look like they post that much, like just a regular Instagram. Iris looks like she's gonna post a lot because Iris is like pretty, and so she seems like the type to like, she likes to take pictures and selfies. She's, I can relate. So she seems like that type. Amber seems like she'll post a lot of her dog and friends and hanging out and stuff like that. She seems like that kind of Instagram, which is cute. I like Amber. Oh, they're putting the Instagrams in the chat. I don't follow, well, I do follow Beth, but she didn't open her page up yet, unless she's opened it up since I last checked. Who else? Oh, Keith had a long message on there talking about how he wasn't perfect and how he, he made some mistakes and all that. And I'm just like, okay, Keith. I'm not going to keep harping on Keith until I talk about this stuff over here. Who else? Matt. Matt is a celebrity in Mexico. He has lots of pictures with little kids who want to take a picture with the basketball player. So I'm guessing he's like a celebrity over there. Maybe he wanted some American fame over here. He got some modeling, like some pictures where he, kind of modeling a little bit, he think he fine a little bit, I guess. So yeah, that's it. That's everybody's Instagrams. I've definitely trolled their pages. Not trolled as in I didn't write anything. I've just looked through their pages. I'm not that kind of fake page. Okay. We forgive Keith. Matt does well when he doesn't speak. Okay, I agree. Okay, y'all. So all of these little tea information thingies I found from the Instagram page MAFS fan. So if you would like to go see these, I believe they're still up. They might be in a highlight now, but I saw them, so I screenshotted them. So shout out to that page because pretty much everything I learned about this show, that's like, outside of being produced. I find out from that page. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna show y'all some things about Keith real quick. Let me bring y'all close to my computer. And leave a like while you're here. Go ahead and leave a like. Ooh, my bad. All right. So apparently this is Keith's music stuff right here. Okay? It's called Whatever It Takes by Keith Manley and Money Montage. It's called Whatever It Takes. And the page said it's a convenient time to release this new song. It was released on September 11th, which was, you know, fairly recent, like a couple of weeks ago or last week. So the next picture, it says, oh, look who is a musician, and it's Keith. And this was previously shared in June. And this is another one of his songs, I guess. That's the cover art, I'm guessing. And this Married at First Sight fan page found this and took screenshots of it and posted it on their page. And then the page was blocked. It said I was blocked as soon as I posted those in June. If it wasn't a big deal, then why? Oh my goodness, I can't see. Then why would he care that I shared those? And that's a good question. Why would he care? Like, if, you know, why would he block that page? He might just be blocking the page because he knows that, that's a page that, you know, kind of is like spills everybody's tea. But I don't know. It's making me lean a little bit to the fact that I don't want to say him and Matt are on the same page, because if I put Keith and Matt in the same category, I'm gonna have to go in on Keith, because that means you never really was gonna care about Iris either way it went. And so no matter what Iris did, possibly, I mean, if he's on Matt's level, it wouldn't have even mattered. And I don't want to do that just yet, because just because he has music and he released it while the show was on, I don't think that's enough to say that he did. But I got my good eye on Keith. That's it would explain a lot. It would explain a lot if that was what it was. Everybody keeps saying the song was terrible. I haven't heard it, so I really don't know. I didn't care to listen. He doesn't have a voice that sounds like he can sing. Is he singing or rapping? But yeah, y'all finna make me look it up. But my thing, if he is on Matt's level, he's a much better actor than Matt was. Like, he put on a good act if he's on Matt's level. If he's doing the same thing Matt did, just came on here for exposure and money, he's a good actor. And I almost would give him props, because he got a lot of people fooled, including me. You know what I'm saying? He had me fooled for a while. I think the editing had a little something to do with it. But, let me see y'all what y'all saying. Iris is also a model, and some people were saying she did it for the show for publicity. I'm not sure about that. I mean, that could be so. That could be so. That could be it. I mean, you never know. I don't put it past nobody. I always thought Keith was like Matt. He's just low-key about being a jerk. Yeah, I do kind of feel, I'm not going to say he's a jerk, but I do kind of feel like he wants to be the good guy in the situation. Like, even with this post that he posted today, he was just talking about how, you know, he's doing it for the kids that he serves. And, you know, I believe he cares about the kids. I do. But don't try to pull on my heartstrings to cover up for something else. I don't think Iris did the show for publicity. I don't, but I don't put it past anybody. But in my heart, I believe Iris really loves Keith. I just really feel that way. Sounds like someone scratching a chalkboard. He's kind of doing a Drake rap singing. That doesn't work for a lot of people. I think she really wanted to be married and she happens to be a model. I believe that too. Once we done, we done. I agree with you, Lauren. Like, once we done, especially if we get a divorce, honey, we're not getting back together. Now, the only time I think that's okay is when, you know, a couple has been married for like 20 plus years and maybe they go through like a really rough patch and they get divorced and then they somehow find their way back to each other. That's the only time I'm like, okay, you get a divorce and get back together, and I could believe that that is, y'all are supposed to be back together. But for this little bitty, nope. Man, listen, these men out here trying to secure the bag. They don't care about these women at all. Wow, Keith, wow. Way more dangerous than Matt. Yeah, because Matt, you could see straight through Matt. If he's on Matt's level, y'all, I will be stunned. I will be stunned. I really will. Keith really doesn't like kids. He seems, well, we can't say that even. Yes, Iris really loves Keith, and she desperately wanted to stay with him desperately. She did. Keith seems so cold all of a sudden. That's because it's a defense mechanism. When you, like, that's difficult to be next to somebody that you so clearly love and them not reciprocate those feelings whatsoever. Feel good. And to have to sit next to him and kind of go over, like, you have to watch your relationship over. Like, can you imagine sitting next to your ex and watching your relationship play out on TV and watch all those cringy moments or the fights you had or whatever? Like, that's difficult. Like, sometimes I feel like we should, like, step back and see it from their perspective. That's gotta be hard. And I even kind of, like, have sympathy for Keith because I know he didn't want to come off like the bad guy. But that's only if he's not on Matt's level. If he's on Matt's level, I will come back and go off on him. Trust me. Would Jamie be better with a woman that was more submissive? I think he's controlling. So, I mean, I think he's controlling. So, I wouldn't want a submissive woman. I feel like we thought Keith was patient with Iris, but I think he didn't pursue her because he wasn't into her, not because he was being patient. Ooh, burn. Yeah, I kind of, like, at this point, I definitely feel that way. And people were saying, oh, he's being patient and, you know, he's not trying to force anything on her. And I just feel like what Keith gave was a bare minimum. If you think what Keith gave was above and beyond, you must not expect much in relationships. You must think that men giving the bare minimum is, you know, excellence. And I'm sorry, I don't. That's bare minimum for me, is to have patience and not to push me to do things. That's human decency. Yes, Jamie would do, I don't know about that. I want Jamie to get some help first. Iris really loved a husband and being a wife. She still doesn't seem to understand what emotional maturity or being comfortable with your... I could agree with the second part. I heard Keith was messing with a chick at UNC Charlotte during the show. Jamie has a despicable mouth. He would walk all over. That's how I feel about Jamie being with a submissive woman. I wouldn't want him to be with someone submissive because I feel like he would... The same way he down talked Elizabeth, you better believe he'll down talk someone who is more, you know, humble and more timid. God forbid. I would hate that. At least Elizabeth ain't gonna take too much of that. And I can respect that about her. Okay, so now that we talked about the whole, let me see. I was shocked when Keith and he said he wasn't ready for marriage and then spoke to Iris saying she wasn't. Yeah, I didn't like the way he gonna tell her she ain't ready. Don't tell me I'm not ready. You don't know what I'm ready for. Jamie would have lasted longer with Amber. Yeah, because Amber wouldn't have questioned anything he did. She didn't even really question Matt. She asked him a couple of questions when he walked in the house and then went on business as usual. Keith really couldn't take the lead when it came to... I don't see what he could have done differently without. I think he could have really confronted the situation head on. You know, I feel like he held a lot of things in and he was checked out for most of the process. That's what I think he could have done differently. But, you know, we all have our own opinions. Um, oh, I did take a picture of part of this interview. It said, Keith, this is coming from Keith. Well, I didn't actually apply for Married at First Sight. A casting director reached out to me explaining what it was about and the possibility of finding love of your life. Wait, I can't read. A casting director reached out to me explaining what it was about and the possibility of finding the love of your life. And it was not something I could pass up. So now that I know that Keith has his own music and everything, him being on this show does sound a little bit opportunistic. Um, I don't think he was completely malicious the way I think Matt kind of was. Matt was just all about self. I don't think he was being completely malicious, or he was just being a good actor. One of the two. Amber would melt with that sub. She sure would. All he would have to do is walk in the house and be like, "Sub, Matt, I'm so glad you're back. Never leave me." Let me stop. I like Amber, but she really did let him get away with murder. Keith is funny. Remember at one point Iris was like, "Tell them what you told me. You told me to move on." Yet on the show he was talking about, "Oh, I don't know what the future holds." Yeah, why would he do that? Mm-mm. Yeah, I forgot to write that down. He sure did say that. He told her to move on, but then gonna be like, "I miss you and I don't know what the future holds." And yeah. Okay, let's move on to. Okay, so if you want to see these screenshots about between Matt's sister and somebody, apparently somebody messaged Matt's sister and asked her about Matt's behavior and about the show and everything. And I'm just gonna read a couple of texts back and forth. This is supposedly from the sister. All of this is alleged, by the way, allegedly, because I don't know if this is really his sister or not. But you know, supposedly this is his sister. Okay, so somebody, okay. So basically, she said she wasn't at the wedding because she knows that he did it for money. She said a lot of the men in her family tend to have the. Wait, let me read the other message. The person said to her, like, I know people who don't talk to their families, but he seemed to actually be sociopathic rather than emotionally burdened. And she said, his sister said, yeah, a lot of men in my family tend to have those characteristics in therapy, right? Um, I'm sorry, y'all. For some reason, my contacts are foggy. Let me start over. She said a lot of men in her family tend to have those kind of characteristics. She's in therapy right now because she's dealing with her dad's issues and Matthew's pretty bad. And then they said something about him taking her to his childhood home. And she said he took her to the childhood home. He must have made it up because he never came here. And she said, yeah, you would have seen a black. Sorry, y'all. I got a phone call. My bad. I got a phone call from someone I don't even know. Like, I'm sorry. But while y'all in here, can you leave a like real quick? In case y'all didn't hear that last part, basically they drove. Somebody told the sister that they drove by the house, and she was basically like, he didn't call or anything, let her know. And the person was like, that must hurt. And she said, well, she's done caring about his selfish actions. So basically, even his sister says he exhibits some very selfish um characteristics, and that he's basically he's very disconnected from her, and I think his family, just based off how she answered those questions, like, it seems like they might still live or have access to that house, and he didn't let them know. um she says she's in therapy from her dad's actions, which is also his dad, so possibly he takes after his father. So, like, allegedly, this is his sister, and so if his sister is saying this, um, apparently he's always acted like that. Matt was horrible at the reunion. It's one thing to be not interested in Amber, which is fine, but he had his horrible attitude towards trying to act like the victim. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he was really trying to play the victim that entire reunion. He really did. He acted like he was the one that got cheated on. He was the one that got caught up in DMs. He was the one who got caught up at the bar. And he tried to say, "Oh, that was, you don't know if that was my friend at the bar. I wasn't trying to meet up with anybody in the DMs, even though I'm asking to meet up." Keith didn't try to do music on the show like Matt. That's true, but I mean, he could have just been real slick about it. I mean, if he's like Matt, he's just done it 1,000,000% better. But just a part of me don't believe that. Like, a part of me doesn't believe Keith is capable of that. But I don't know Keith, so he might be. Matt was definitely doing this for a check. I really wish they would do a better job with screening people. Me too. Instead of they do not need to recruit people. Like, I understand, you need men for the show. But if you're gonna recruit someone, okay, if you are gonna recruit, you need to have a better vetting process. Like, if Greg was recruited, I don't know if he applied. Greg said on IG and he and Deanna. Okay, well, Greg applied. That means like, I knew in my heart that Greg knew that, because the way he acted, like, I knew he was ready for a wife. Keith didn't really come off like he was ready to be married necessarily. Like, he was saying all the right things. Like, Keith has a way with words. Like, as I was going through his Instagram, like, when I was looking at his captions, he just has a way with words. He's good with words. He's good with expressing himself. But are these his true emotions? I don't know. I think he just knows the right thing to say, but is it actually how you're feeling? You know what I'm saying? Um, they have to recruit men because they have such a short time period. I mean, I get it, but they need a better vetting process if that's the case. They definitely cast Matt on purpose. That was all for the drama. I could believe it. Yep. Married at First Sight definitely spilled the tea, y'all. Y'all follow them if y'all want to know. Black's also known. Look, let me get you out of here, because we are not about to play that game. How do I think I did it. We're getting rid of the trolls. Okay. I don't know how to block, though. I want to block. Okay. All right. I hope they don't cast a couple for a shock factor and drama. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I kind of feel that way. I feel like because they saw last season did so well and had people so up in arms with Luke and Kate, I kind of do feel like they possibly could have matched Matt and Amber on purpose. The fun of the show is watching the men who aren't ready. It's a train wreck. There you have it. Keith needs an Oscar. I know. If Keith was not being real, if Keith was acting, if that was not real, Keith deserves an Oscar. And I might not even go off on him. I might just have to applaud him. Nah, I'm still going off. But I mean, really, like, if you can act that well, Keith does have a way with words, y'all. I'm telling you. I'm not saying that he's acting, because I just don't believe it. Maybe I don't want to believe it. Okay. Makes me wonder if Will was recruited. I think Will probably was, because he was very iffy about a lot of things, and he just seemed like he kind of half had one leg in, one leg out. I wasn't with Will. Iris should go back on. Maybe she'll have like a little spin-off something. I wouldn't be surprised if Will was recruited. Yeah, I got rid of Jada. I know Jeff D was recruited and he thought it was a regular dating show. That's what I heard. And he acted like it too. Yes, Will. But that's not, look, let me tell you something. Once you found out what it was, don't sign up for this show. If you think it's a dating show and then you find out it's getting married, why are you still on it? Don't act like nobody really fooled you into this show. Like, I know somewhere you had to see it was Married at First Sight and you had to agree to get married at first sight. Come on. Didn't nobody force y'all to do that. Will had to be recruited and he was livid when he was Jasmine at the altar. I honestly thought he was attracted to Jasmine, but I could be wrong. Someone told me Trey from season 3 was recruited. I could believe that because he was not invested. Keith was acting the whole time. I hope not, y'all. They should do a season where they match people from different cities. I feel like they would find more compatible matches. Just an idea. Jada is so wrong to turn people. Y'all, why are y'all talking about color right now? That's not the conversation. All this Keith hate is boggling my mind. Have we spoke about Iris questioning Keith about his sex life on the reunion? In my opinion, Iris was not ready at all. Okay, I mean, I think that's something we all wanted to know. Yes, she questioned him, but I'm pretty sure the host was gonna ask him that. And I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm on Iris's side more than Keith's, because I feel like they equally were the reason why that marriage didn't work. But I mean, that was a question everybody wanted to know. Greg never needed that show, to be honest. He did, but it worked out in his favor. Do they get paid? I heard they get paid $25K. Jeff D, I love Shanice and their daughter. Their daughter is so cute. Jeff D and Shanice's daughter, they have the most beautiful daughter I've ever seen. What did Will do so wrong? Will was just, what I didn't like about Will is that he was not putting his all into the situation, and Jasmine, it seemed like she was trying to go above and beyond for him, and he was not doing the same. And he ended up saying no on decision day, but then when they came back on the reunion, he was like, well, maybe we could date. No, ain't no dating after we did a divorce. Ain't no dating. Are you crazy? And then on top of that, he won't sign the marriage. He won't sign the divorce papers. Jasmine to this day is like, will you please sign these papers so I can get away from you? That's why I don't like Will. I mean, Jasmine had her issues too. Trust me, I agree. But Will, he was insufferable in some ways. Greg did because he's too needy and lacks I don't agree with that. I think Greg has plenty of confidence. Will said in an interview that he was not attracted to Jasmine. He did say that. Okay, well, if he wasn't attracted to her, you know how I feel about that. If you see somebody at first sight, I know it's going to be embarrassing. I know it's going to be rude. I know it ain't going to be right. I know it's probably going to mess up your part of the show and your check. But if you see somebody and you know for a fact that you're man, and usually this is men that can't get past looks, don't get married to that person. Don't do it. Just shut the whole wedding down. Just go home. Just end it. If you look at that person and you realize it's not gonna work based off looks, if you're shallow like that, just go home and don't waste everybody's time. Now that's how I feel about that. Iris is a baddie, y'all bugging. Yeah, Iris is pretty. Who said she wasn't? Iris is gorgeous, but talks entirely too much. I could see how they could run somebody off because she does talk a lot. But she could find somebody that loves that part of her. I don't think that was I don't think it was acting. Expressions on his face with times were too real. That's why I feel like, I don't know, part of me feels like he just wouldn't be able to act that well. You know? Keith, tell Iris how you feel instead of running to your mommy. I said it, he didn't. I mean, not I said it, he said it, I didn't. Keith can't stand Iris. Do you have a favorite couple out of all the seasons? I'm trying to think. I have a few favorites. I love Greg and Deanna. I like Keith and Christine. Who else? I don't have to think about it. It's been so many. And plus I don't remember everybody's name. But those are like the ones that I can think of at the moment. Keith's mother peeped from the jump. No, Keith's mother ran to tell him something that Iris should have been able to tell him first. I like Anthony and Ashley from C. Oh yeah, I like them too. They're like one of my favorites too. I like them. I like Bobby and Danielle. Yeah, I like Bobby and Danielle. They were cute too. So do y'all think Keith is a mama's boy? Because that was something somebody really, really kind of attacked me over because I called Keith a mama's boy. When really I just meant he could be considered a mama's boy because before every major decision, he seems to call his mom. I don't have a problem with that because I called my grandmother. I talked to my grandma about a lot of things. So I don't see a problem with that. But I also don't see a problem with being a mama's boy. I don't see the negative, like, is that a negative thing to be called? I don't see anything wrong with loving your mother and always wanting to talk to her about stuff, you know? I don't think he is. Okay. I like Ashley, Anthony, Bobby, and Danielle were the most boring couple. Well, what about Anthony from Shy? I don't remember. I think there should be an equivalent of term of toxic masculinity that addresses daddy's girls. I think he is a mama's boy. I think he loves his mom and they are close and they vibe well. That's all I really mean by mama's boy. I don't mean it as like, oh, you're a mom. Like, I don't even, do people take that in a negative way? Like, I don't think mama's boy is a negative thing. Now, the way it becomes negative is when you let your mama in a relationship and you let your mama tell you what to do every step of the way, and your mama, influences all your decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you're just taking her advice and not necessarily letting her make your decisions, I don't see a problem with talking to your mama, you know? But what I was saying was someone could consider you immature for that. I don't necessarily think it is. Greg better secure the bag. Real talk. What? Jamie and Doug. I think everybody likes Jamie and Doug. I didn't like her on that season, and I mean, she might have changed a lot since then. It's been a while, but I did not like her. Keith is married to his mama. I wouldn't say that. I think most people see a mama's boy as a bad thing. I do think it would have been nice to see him talk to his father. Does he have siblings or male cousins? That's a good question too. Like, we did see him with his friend one time, but pretty much every time he would talk to someone other than Iris, it was his mama. I've always thought the way a guy treats his mother, sister says a lot about him. If he treats them with respect, that's a really good sign. I agree with that. Pastor Cal mentioned on a previous season that Married at First Sight was a hard time. Had a hard time finding black men who prefer to be matched with black women. I believe that's why they recruited Keith. I'm not surprised. I don't know why I'm trying to act like I'm shocked. I'm not shocked. But that's really sad. That's really sad because, I mean, if you look at the statistics in real life, like outside of, all of the glitz and glam, most black men are married to black women. And, most black women is married to black men. But when it comes to dating outside your race, I think it's like double the amount of black men date outside their race as opposed to black women. And I think some of that, I'm not gonna say all, because I don't have a problem with interracial relationships at all, so I don't want y'all to take this wrong at all. But I think some of that stems from self-hate and, you know, white supremacy, all of that jazz. But I'm not gonna get into that on this video because that is a little bit too deep. If he had told the truth about who he was to the experts, he wouldn't need his mama to deal with Iris. It's no, it's more than that. He can't make a decision without her. I don't know. I think he just be wanting her opinion about things, but I don't think he lets her make his decisions. Cause I don't know. I just don't get that. Deanna treats Greg like he is her little pocketbook. No, let's not do that. I don't believe that. Deanna has her own money. Mothers can be great mothers. The one thing we can't be is male father. That's true. I thought it was rude that Iris asked Keith that. I mean, this is the reunion. We get in your business on the reunion. Like, that's how reunions go. You ask people questions like that. Yeah, Deanna is about to get paid. Greg, keep your wallet. Y'all need to quit, cause I really don't think Deanna is a gold digger. Let's not put the gold digger label on Deanna. Y'all finna make me go. Don't make me go off in honor of Deanna, cause I will. She has her own. Like, didn't y'all hear in the beginning that she has a master's degree and she makes a pretty good living on her own, and she owned her own I don't think it was a house. I forgot. She owned her own place before she met Greg. So let's not act like she's trying to take his money. I think she was happy about finding someone on her level, if anything else, or someone like maybe slightly above her level. Cause who wants somebody, you know, I'm not saying anything is wrong with dating somebody like that makes less than you, but she was looking for her equal. I don't think Deanna is in his pocket at all. I mean, they're married now, so they share a pocket. I would rather them not put black women on the show if they can't find good matches for them. They have done a disservice to a lot of black women on the show over the years. That's true, because majority of the black women on this show have been done dirty. Majority. I understand his mother being one of the most trusted advisors. I agree that he should have gotten a male perspective from time to time. I remember that. The experts said they had a bunch of beautiful, brilliant black women who wanted to be with black men, and literally every black man was saying they preferred other races. It's so sad, y'all. Oh, y'all was talking about Tristan. Yeah, I also read that article where Pastor Cal said black men wanted to be matched with white women, but white women didn't want to be matched with them. And that's another sad truth. Y'all sitting up here running after people that don't even want you. It's a part of the self-hate. Deanna owned her own townhouse. She did. Deanna had her own. Y'all finna quit playing with Deanna. I really like Deanna. I think she is super smart and very realistic with this process. Exactly. I mean, it was only 8 weeks. If I met a guy within the first week, he said he loved me, I would be terrified. Exactly. Let's be real. I'm Team Deanna Greg too. I just think about how she talks about her past situationships, then made that comment about not having high expectations. I just think Deanna wasn't used to being courted. You know, she's used to these like situationships and people trying to use her, that I think that's why her expectations weren't high, because they've been low for so long. Seriously, where Deanna and Iris abused in the past, their actions are questionable. What are you talking about? So let's just say she was attracted to the fact that he was well off. Is that wrong? Should she be attracted to men who are struggling? I'm not understanding exactly. That's my whole point with the whole Deanna and Greg thing. Yes, that's attractive. It's attractive for a man to have built this huge house and built this career and be successful and make $400,000 a year. Are you crazy? Who wouldn't be attracted to that? Ambition is so attractive to me too. Like, who doesn't want a man that's ambitious? That's a bit hyperbolic. She hadn't been in a relationship in 10 years. Deanna married the frog, but she wanted the Prince Charming. You trolling. I'm not gonna read your comments anymore because you're trolling, obviously. Matt's sister said she was invited but didn't go because Matt is horrible. She said their dad is the same way. Yeah, I believe it. If your own family saying it, I like Deanna though. I really do. Keith needed more male input, wise, godly input. I can believe that too. Keith he did need some good counseling, some good counsel with how to. I feel like he needed like his own counseling to deal with a virgin. I feel like who really knows how to deal with that in that situation. And so did Iris. Like, Keith wanted attention. What do you mean? Like, he wanted attention, like he wanted to be on the show, or he wanted Iris's attention? He needed counsel with dealing with someone who's a virgin, because who knows how to do that in this day and age when most people lose their virginity, like at least in high school. I could believe it. He was recruited. He had Iris's attention. That's true. He did. So you right. He did have her full attention, so it had to be for the show. She was there for him. True. Iris was doing way too much. I said on Twitter she was being very aggressively passive aggressive. And I was just like, oh, Iris. But she was doing too much. But that was a really difficult situation to deal with on both of their ends. I mean, they honestly, if I'm being real, they handled it well to be where they are in life. I felt that she was hurt. Yeah, she's in love with Keith. I think Iris was acting like that because she sees the backlash she's been getting and she wanted to clear her name. That could have been a part of it too. He rejected her twice on national TV. That's hard. That's a harsh thing. That's a harsh thing to be constantly rejected by someone you love or, you know, really, really care about. Sorry, y'all. Let me get a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, guys, like, that's all I have to say. I don't dislike anybody on the show except for Matt. Like, I'm not mad at Keith. I'm not mad at Iris. I feel like they both equally made mistakes. And they both equally are responsible for this marriage not working. All he had to do was approach the marriage like dating. Take the time. But see, the thing is, I don't think Keith it doesn't seem like Keith has ever been the aggressor when it comes to dating. Like, it doesn't seem like he's had to put in work with women. And I know for me, like, for instance, I once dated this guy who was older than me. I was like, how old was I? I was like 22 and he was like 26. And he said before he knew me, before he started dating me or whatever, he had never taken a woman out on a date before, ever. He had never had to take a girl out on a date. And when we were talking, he had to take me out on dates. It wasn't even a question of whether we just gonna chill. We going out on dates. You gonna take me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had never had to do that before. So it was difficult for him because he was used to women just coming after him and being aggressive with him. And, you know, I'm not like that. You're gonna have to court me. And so he told me that. He was like, that's like, basically that's the most work he's ever had to put into. And he had kids and everything. and he's had like very long-term relationships, and he's never had to take anybody out on dates. And yeah, some men didn't have to put in the work, so they don't even know how to do it. How could he do that when that's all she would talk about? I will agree, Iris brought up her virginity way too much. Iris had to comment on her, on dang near everything. I remember on another couple walking, and Kevin threw his hand up and was like, "What, Iris?" As if she was. Yeah, Iris, she did have something to say about everybody else, but you know, she did. She did. I can't even defend that. Is it just me, or Amber still obsessed with Matt? Why would she want to be cordial with him after everyone and their dog told you he was doing you dirty? Amber wants Matt to want her so bad. I know. She still wants to be cool. I didn't understand that either. Let me get my charger, y'all. My phone about to die. Sorry. Let me charge my phone. It's about to die. Oh. Hold on. I might have to hold it. Okay. That kind of box wasn't empty for no reason. Yes, Amber was very obsessed with Matt. He wouldn't give her the satisfaction last night. He wouldn't. He was just a jerk. Y'all, I'm gonna have to hold this because it's gonna weigh it down. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Everything's falling apart. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna have to get off this. I'm gonna have to get off this live in a minute, y'all. Because I have some other stuff I gotta do. Okay. Amber is very obsessed with Matt. He wouldn't give her the, yeah, he didn't. Seriously, I was done with Iris when she made that variation of, that was hypocritical. You couldn't have one put in the church and one out. Amber is a serious empath. Matt's angry faces. Marriage was intended to be sacred. I don't know. I mean, I know, hard to believe nowadays, but in the right context, it can be beautiful, rewarding, and fulfilling. Not without storms and trials. That's what makes us strong. I agree with that. And one of these days, I want to be married. And I want whoever I marry to, you know, put in that same effort I put in, you know. It's, I don't know, it's hard when you feel like you married someone who didn't really care in the first place. They showed the video of Iris at home talking about Iris is good, Iris is gonna be okay. She irks me talking about herself in third person. To me, that's a defense mechanism. All that stuff that she's doing is a defense mechanism, and yes, it can be very annoying because it's like, Iris, if you're so good, you wouldn't have to say it all the time. Like if you're okay, we could see it, but you obviously are pressed, and it's okay to be pressed about Keith. It just happened, and you know, you probably still have feelings for him, but it's gonna take some time to get over it, and it's okay to be honest if you're not okay, you know. I'm just waiting until Beth and Jamie end up on Snap. Don't say that. Don't say that. For sure, she's really hurt. Iris, you're not good. Exactly. She's doing that because she doesn't want to look vulnerable. Right. Unfortunately, I was hoping for the best, but moving cross country. Yeah, that's kind of, why are y'all moving away from y'all family? Oh, and y'all not even stable as a couple. She left you over the dog. Like, why are y'all moving across country together? y'all, you wrong for saying they're gonna end up on Snap. But San Francisco. I mean, you know, to each his own. I just don't see that working out. But okay, Jamie got a job at Google. Okay. I heard that's a mechanism abusers use. What? Best dogs live in an abusive household. Where is Iris's father? That man was doing the most. That's true. Where was her daddy this whole time? Because man, he when he bust out crying, I started crying. And then to not see him the rest of the season, like, where were you at? You seemed like you were very much so, you know, invested at the time. But maybe he just didn't want to be on camera, because apparently some people's family did not want to be on camera. When they showed that clip of her saying she was good, I told my sister she turned the camera right off to go cry. I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good, y'all. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not crying. What? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. That's not funny, but that is kind of what she looked like. Yep, he's isolating her from her friends and family. That's what I said. Like, why are you leaving from around them? I do feel bad for Iris, though. I really think she thought her virginity was a precious gift, so that made her special. Unfortunately, we don't. It will be special to someone. I'm sure she's gonna find somebody that it will be special to. Did you see Iris's page? She's trying so hard to act like she's okay. That's what I'm talking about. Like, Iris is very defensive on her page already, and she just opened her page up. She was making a lot of like, okay, followers, I know y'all used to it just being us and it being positive, but all the negative people are coming, and you know, if you see something, say something. It's like, girl, that's why I can't follow these people on my regular page, because I don't feel like seeing that all the time. I feel like looking at it when I feel like it. Someone said that the cameras are only around twice a week, and the rest of the week they get a camera to shoot home videos. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So that's probably why you don't get to see a lot of family, because, you know, maybe the family's like, I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to be in your dysfunctional TV show. So, all right, y'all. I think that's it for now. I actually have so much I have to do after this. So I'm gonna have to let this live go. I had so much fun with you guys watching this show. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Um, I want to, okay, while you're in here, leave a like. Don't forget to leave a like while you're in here. But I do want to review something else so that we can continue to have this little community. Like, I do make natural hair videos. If y'all don't know, I do make natural hair videos. I actually just posted one today. Go check that out. But I also want to continue to do this because this was fun. I like talking with you guys and talking about TV shows. The two suggestions that I got the most requests for, actually I did a poll and asked y'all, did y'all want me to review Love and Marriage Huntsville? And I got mostly yes on that one. And I also wanted to know, would y'all want me to review Married to Medicine? I'm probably going to do a poll asking either of those. And I'm only going to do one or the other. So I'm going to do a poll. I'll probably do a poll right after this so I don't forget. And ask y'all, do y'all want me to review one or the other so we can continue? Good night. Please review Ready to Love. I don't know, y'all. That's on OWN, and I don't have OWN, but I know where to get the episodes of Love in Huntsville. I don't know where to find Ready to Love. Is that on OWN? Someone said the camera. Just wondering. I'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back January. So regardless, we'll be back. But in the meantime, Love and Marriage Huntsville, thank you so much. I always love hearing your thoughts. Thank you. I love talking to you guys too. Thanks, Emily. You're the best. Love your commentary. Thanks, Sagine. Sorry. Thanks for the reviews. No problem, Marvina. I loved reviewing it. Do Love and Marriage Huntsville. We'll see. We'll see. I definitely have thoughts though. So even if I decide not to review that show, I'm gonna do a video anyway. Just one video talking about everything. Good talk. I know, right, Maurice? Even though you disagreed pretty much, but that's good. I feel like we can have a good little discourse without having to agree with everything. Married to Medicine, Forbidden Love. Good night, Tracita. Hard Decision. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what y'all gonna watch. Yeah, Ready to Love. I don't have OWNs, so that's the only problem with that. Thanks for the reviews. You were fair to everyone. Thank you. It's Ray. Thanks for saying that. And you were pretty much here for everything. So shout out to you. Thank you for the support. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna put that poll up when I get off of here. So love you.